Good day, everyone. So, our topic for today is all about wood defects. So, what is wood defects? Wood defects are usually an abnormality or irregularity in the wood that arises from many different causes. So, there are two types of wood defects. The first one is the natural defects and the artificial defects. But we will only discuss the natural defects. So, natural defects are caused by nature as the tree grows. So, natural defects are naturally occurred in the wood. The common wood defects is responsible for reducing wood's monetary and utilized value. It is the number one culprit and lowering wood strength, durability, and usefulness. So these groups includes all those defects that are developed on a tree during its growth. So their development therefore cannot be generally controlled by man. So there are seven types of natural defects. The nuts, cross grain, reaction wood, growth stresses, brushness, pitch defects, and bark pockets. By the way, my name is Fatima de Castro from BSF 2A. So I am the one who will discuss about nuts. So what is nuts? Nuts is the base of a branch or limb that was broken or cut off from the tree. The portion of the remaining branch receives nourishment from the stem for some time and results in the formation of dark hard rings known as nuts. So as the wood fibers continue to break down in the area of the nut, it forms a source of weakness. So as you can see in the picture, these dark these dark colored rings are known as nuts. So a nuts a nuts marks the position of growth of a branch of the tree. So nuts shows great variation in their size, shape, and stage development. So they make the workability of timber quite difficult. So why do trees have nuts? Nuts are imperfections from branches that causes living wood grain to grow around them. So these imperfections are just part of what makes a wood beautiful material with which to work, but can also contribute to possible defects in structural strength for construction lumber. So it weakens the strength of the wood and is not ideal to build with. So the dead branches drop off healthy living trees all the time, and wood nuts appear in trunk where branches died. So next I'm g- next slide is the types of the nuts. So the first is the live nut. It is truly fixed in wood and cannot be separated out from the body of wood, and it is free from cracks and decay. Wood containing this nut can be used for engineering purposes. So live nuts is a hard in texture, and it is used to build normal like housing. So the next one is dead nuts, a nut which is separated from the body of wood, and it is not safe to use wood with such a nut for engineering purposes. So dead nuts is a wood tissues that are separated from their surroundings, so either partially or completely, and it is made up of dead branches. So the next one is the sound nuts, or what you call tight nuts. They are solid and cannot be knocked loose because they are fixed by growth or position in the wood structure. They are partially or completely intergrown with the growth rings. So these pictures shows sound nuts. So the next one is the decay nuts. It is popularly known as unsound nuts and formed by action of fungi on wood. So decay nuts is a deterioration that causes by various fungi. Next is edge nut. It is seen only in sawn timber on one edge of the cut portion. So this pictures is shown as is an example of the edge nuts. The last one is the face nuts. It is seen on cut timber on the face of the board. So this picture here is an example of the face nuts. So that's all, and Miss Cervantes will continue the discussions. Thank you.
Cross grain and reaction wood. Cross grain, this is a general term depending the deviation of the wood fibers from a direction parallel to the longitudinal axis of the tree. This can be diagonal, spiral, or interlocked types in nature. So, cross grain may include spiral grain where fibers wind around the trunk of the tree. So, this is what cross grain look like. So, what causes cross grain? Cross grain is when a board of wood is cut so the grout lines in the wood are not parallel with the long edge of the board. Instead of the grain lines run diagonally or cross the board. So in this defects, it is not parallel with the long edge of the board. So plywood is a common cross-grain example of wood, the plywood. And the surprising factor is that the cross-grain wood is considered to be the stronger and more durable than solid wood. So next is the reaction wood. A distinctive anatomical characteristics formed typically in parts of leaning trees and its branches is called reaction wood. In branches of trees, the underparts have compression wood, denser and darker than upper part. So there are two different types of reaction wood. So as you can see at the left side, or naka-label na diha na, it is there are two types where there are two types, the tension wood and the compression wood. So which these two represent different approaches to the same problem by woody plants. In most angiosperms, reaction wood is called tension wood. Tension wood may have as high as 60% cellulose. And then the next type is the compression wood. In gymnosperms and amborella, it is called the compression wood. So reaction wood is modified in its anatomical and chemical properties and is generally formed in response to a non-optimal orientation of the stem or branch, and it is caused by prevailing winds, snow, slope, loads, or asymmetric ground shape. So that's all. Thank you.
The natural wood defect, growth trees and brushes. Brushiness is a natural defect in wood of standing trees. The defects develop when all the fibers within the wood are arranged in a single plane. In such an arrangement, a least force is required to break it into pieces. So brushiness is a breaking of wood at a force at which normal wood does not break is called brushiness. Hence, wood can say that brushness is a natural defect in wood which reduces the strength properly of wood. So here's the causes of brushness. Low in weight for a species is due to the preponderance of a certain types of fiber and other cells which are relatively scarce or even entirely absent in normal wood of the same species. So growth trees. According to Post 1971, growth trees are the forces that develop in the wood of growing plants. These stresses are different from those developed as a consequence of lying, although we may interact. So causes of growth trees. Pre-growth trees refers to the mechanical stress permanently supposed by wood and a living tree during tree growth. It results from the combined action of two mechanisms, that is cell wall maturation and the increase of